Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. The smart money is buying XRP. That's a direct quote from a popular chart analyst that I follow, and it's no surprise. Look, all sorts of people, frankly, in the space should have been paying attention to XRP much, much sooner than they were, but not surprisingly, it wasn't until we had this bunch of gigantic green candles throughout the month of November that it caught the attention of all sorts of people. But it's interesting because even after that major move to the upside, because mind you, like think about this, like 6-7 weeks ago, XRP was like 49 cents, and now, not time to record this, it's I don't know $2.15 or so. So even after that, though, the smart money is still buying XRP. They're paying attention now, and they expect that there's going to be another dramatic move to the upside. And all of the analysts that I follow, they called this first move, and they insist that there is going to be another massive move to the upside, hitting a new all-time high, entering price discovery. And what's exciting is that we are on the cusp of it. This whole market's going to blast to the upside if history even just kind of rhymes with itself, as it almost always does. So tons of reason to be optimistic here. It is actually at hand. So I'm going to share with you some perspective from a number of chart analysts here about what's likely for XRP as far as, you know, a peak market price and what's going to happen in the short term. Because frankly, if you're talking anything further than that, or maybe the midterm, you're talking about the next bear market. If you're talking long term, like you're bear market and onwards, right? But the best stuff is about to happen. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so there's this post on Christmas Eve from a very popular chart analyst named Stock Money Lizards. He shared this with his 147,500 followers on X, and it's a market cap Bitcoin dominance percentage chart. And the reason I'm highlighting this is because and this is exciting, even if you don't hold Bitcoin, you should still be caring about what's happening with Bitcoin because it leads the market. And what's happening to it right now has happened at during every single cycle previous it's led up to this point. It has resulted in alt season. Think about what it means for XRP. It's clearly participating in this market cycle as I insisted that it would. It made no logical sense to think that it wouldn't be. And now we really are at this moment where Bitcoin dominance, frankly, it's breaking down. And so anyway, here's what he had to say though. Bitcoin dominance ascending wedge breakout. So you can see the dominance, it's falling out of this thing, which happens literally every single cycle. This is right when you would expect and hope it to happen. And he says altcoins at support. Altcoins heavily oversold on mid time frames. You don't say. And of course, XRP has been consolidating the last few weeks, which is very normal, by the way, after a huge move up, like the likes of which we saw in November. Yeah, pretty normal for it to spend a little bit of time moving sideways here, but it won't. It can't and won't stay there forever. Best yet ahead. But anyway, it says reaccumulation phase here, maybe a little bit of zigzag until after Christmas before bull run is resumed. Yeah, and that's in line with a good bit of what I was talking about in my very last video. Just noting, look, a lot of people are on vacation. But in the beginning part of January, when people are paying attention to their investments in crypto markets to a much greater degree, that's when it would make more sense for some serious fireworks to happen. Not that it literally, I'm not saying it can't happen before that, but if you're wondering what's more probable, yeah, I think that makes sense here. Here's a post from chart analyst Ali Martinez, and like I said at the outset of the video, the smart money's buying XRP, and look at what them splishy, splashy whales are doing out there. Getting aquatic AF, purchasing XRP. And so here's what chart analyst Ali Martinez wrote. Whales bought another 60 million XRP in the last 48 hours. And he posted this on Christmas morning. Well, how about that? So XRP has been consolidating for weeks. And what is the smart money doing? The smart money is purchasing. And what's happening at this particular moment as it's consolidating? Well, look at this. Remember I was highlighting perspective from a ton of analysts throughout most of this year, highlighting XRP and how it's had that literally the tightest Bollinger Bands in history. The closest it had ever been prior to that was what happened in 2017, and it was even more compressed than that. Well, they're starting to get a little bit compressed again, and look, I'm not a chart guy, but I do know this. As you get to a less volatility and more compression as it pertains to this particular metric, Bollinger Bands, it doesn't in and of itself tell you whether or not there's going to be a breakout to the upside or downside, but it does mean there's going to be a break. That is what this signal indicates. Given that we are in a bull run, I would guess what's most probable, though not certain, I'm not pretending to know for sure, but I would guess that the break when it comes would be a move to the upside. Now, there are some analysts that have been warning there's at least a certain chance that you could see a breakdown, like a 30% fall in XRP from here. And I say that not to scare people, more so just to warn you so that if it happens, you don't have to freak out, because that doesn't mean that it's over for XRP. This is just stuff that happens in crypto land. That's just how it is. The blockchain backer is talking about this potentially happening. Charting guy, he doesn't think that it's probable at all, but I think he attributed like maybe a 20% chance that XRP would have a move to the downside. Chart analyst Dom, I've been highlighting his perspective in recent videos. He warned it's possible, though it's not his base case, that yes, XRP could have a pullback of about 30%. So it's out there, but either way, we're going to see a break sooner than later. That I do believe. And so anyway, chart analyst Steph's Crypto shared this XRP chart, and he wrote, XRP Bollinger Band squeezing tight again on the daily chart. Last time this happened, we saw a 490% explosion. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. That's spot on. And look what happened. Beginning part of November this year. Look what's happening again. Get ready, folks. Then there's this post from chart analyst Bobby A. The smart money is buying XRP because it knows how to spot a 7-year breakout when it sees one. The real smart money spots the chart before the breakout and accumulates before the impulse initiates. Yeah, and so Bobby A, to his credit, of course, and pretty much, I mean, all the analysts that I follow called what was going to happen with XRP this market cycle, which is to say it would have an initial burst and absolutely participate. To me, again, it was the most obvious. It's an absolute no-brainer that this was going to happen in my mind. And you don't need to be a chart guy to even have that perspective. There are lots of rationale that you can use to come to that conclusion. But here, he is a chart analyst, so he's talking about technical analysis. And he did call this. He saw this. He saw that XRP had been consolidating for the better part of, or close to 7 years anyway. And, you know, spent all that time, all those years in a symmetrical triangle. It can't stay there forever. There's no way it was ever just going to flutter around there price-wise forever. And so we're in a bull market, so when it finally broke out of that, it's not surprising to see it was a massive burst to the upside, because there is no other crypto in history that has consolidated as long as XRP just did. This is unprecedented. And the longer a cryptocurrency consolidates, the greater the force with which it bursts when it finally does. So none of this should really be surprising. So yeah, smart people still buying XRP now, and the smartest were paying attention and acted on it before that move happened. But of course, I understand that, you know, to be fair, I understand that, you know, there's tens of thousands of cryptocurrencies, and so, you know, you can't pay attention literally to every single one. But even so, I mean, XRP's been in the top 10 coins by market cap its entire existence. So, like, you tell me at no point over the last 10 years, I mean, and I know not everybody's been in the space that long, and I haven't. I've been here 7 years. But at no point, however long you've been here, did you think, that XRP thing just keeps staying there. What's that all about? Like, just there's no curiosity there? You know, come on, folks. Just say it. Here's a post. This one's also from Bobby A. And this is from December 19th. And this is interesting since we're talking about, you know, things practically, I mean, they could break imminently. Like, I acknowledge that it's probably going to be in January, but still, it could happen any day. It could. I absolutely acknowledge XRP could break before this year's out. But Bobby A here wrote, XRP's January monthly candlestick will take the asset into take profit levels, in my opinion. Okay, well, what does he consider take profit levels? Well, I'm glad you asked. Take a look at this. And I highlighted this before, but I thought it was fitting to throw it into this video given the content here. He shared this on December 18th. The take profit zone is basically, so we are talking to all-time high territory for XRP. It's from $5.31 up to $13.72. And he says, and it's his opinion, that it's going to be happening in January. That's right. That level so, my God. And you know what's crazy? So look, like, people have been saying this at any given point in time for the whole time I've been in crypto. But we're in a bull run now. So this is the point where if history's going to rhyme with itself, you should expect more or less it to be around this time. So whether it's January or not, it's I think we're really, really close. And so he could be right. You know, I always think it's dangerous when people have specific time frames, any analyst, no matter how good they are, to say it's going to happen in so-and-so time period. But even though I do believe that, and it is risky, and no analyst can consistently predict timelines, given where we are, structurally within this particular bull run, it's not crazy to say that. Even I will acknowledge that. It's not crazy to think that that could happen within that time frame, specifically the month of January. Here's a post from chart analyst Greg Crypto just from this morning. It says, XRP noise until one of these happens. Key levels to watch would be $2 mark, so $2 for XRP. He says a confirmed break here, and we'll be heading toward the lower targets. And you can see some of what he wrote on the screen here, $1.64, $1.37, $1.22. Now, he's not necessarily saying that we'd hit all of those. But that $1.64 range, I mean, that's not far off from what the blockchain backer was talking about. He said if XRP breaks to the downside, it could get down to about $1.50. Now, that said, he's predicting that there's an 80% odds, that's the number he chose, that, you know, when XRP breaks, it'll actually be to the upside rather than the downside. But even he's acknowledging, yeah, that could happen. So anywhere around there, it's not the end of the party if that happens, just to be clear, okay? And then the other level here, though, and this would be the more fun one, $2.65. He says, break this level and fireworks will ignite. The upper targets will be in play. He also had this post, and so this is from a few days ago, but Eager Crypto, he's been talking about this $27 price level quite a bit, and justifying how, you know, giving rationales on why it makes sense to potentially occur from various perspectives. And I don't make price predictions, but it makes sense to me that this could happen. I absolutely buy into it. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm never going to make a price prediction. It's the concept of this. It is safely embedded in reality. It absolutely is. And so here he says, confirmation of $27 is coming. XRP is currently ranging above the break of structure and patiently awaiting for its rendezvous with the 21 exponential moving average. When this meeting happens above the break of structure and the 21 EMA crosses it, tagging XRP price, I will confidently say, with high conviction, that this cycle XRP is heading straight to $27. Look, he could be right. It's not crazy. We have seen moves like this in crypto before. And XRP's been so artificially suppressed. I mean, it's got a lot of room to play catch up. Unquestionably, it does. There's also this post from chart analyst Javon Marks. He says, with elite precision, prices of XRP made an over 420% increase, of course, as speculated, right to our $2.47 target, meeting and breaking above it briefly just before treating it as a resistance. But with low time frame bull signals, movement back above can be coming, which then welcomes in $4.80. And so he's anticipating we're going to be seeing that type of range, a little shy of $5 in the short term. Also not crazy. Absolutely might happen. And I wanted to highlight this too. So this is a chart analyst Tony Severino. I'm going to make a point about XRP on this, but this is an Ethereum chart, Ethereum USD. And so he wrote, Ethereum has an inverse head and shoulders target of $12,000. Okay, well, the reason I'm highlighting this is because, as I'm sure the vast majority of you are aware, XRP historically has battled with Ethereum for that number 2 spot, taking it from Ethereum on at least several occasions. Now, XRP hasn't even been close to Ethereum for the last several years, but that's because of the SEC. If not for that artificial interference, XRP would either be number 2 in market cap right now, or much closer in terms of battling it. The price of XRP today is lower than it would otherwise be had the SEC not done the nonsense that they did. I firmly believe that's the case. If not for the SEC, XRP would have last market cycle hit a new all-time high. XRP is the only coin in the top 10 that when this bull run started, didn't hit a new all-time high. It's also the only one that was being attacked by the SEC. So it shouldn't be surprising here. So the idea of XRP getting back to competing with Ethereum this market cycle, don't know for sure if it's going to get tremendously close or even flip ETH, but it could. It could happen this market cycle. So the reason I'm highlighting this is because if Ethereum hits $12,000, note that would give ETH a market cap of $1.4 trillion. So if XRP is going to match that, even just match it, which it could, we'll see if it happens, but if it does, and it has the same $1.4 trillion market cap, that would give XRP a price of about $25. So that's not a prediction, but I firmly believe that's safely within reality. And so that's why when I see Eager Crypto talking about $27 XRP, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen, but that ain't crazy. That ain't crazy at all. Because look, ETH's all-time high was what? Like about $4,800, $4,900, somewhere around there. So you're talking about a little over a twofold increase from one cycle to the next. And so an XRP it's got way more room to catch up, but you can see the strength that it's been displaying since November. Why not? Why couldn't it do it? I mean, it could. That's the exciting thing here. And so this is why the smart money is buying XRP. Now, I guess I'm not smart money. I'm not buying XRP, but that's because it's my largest individual holding, and it accounts currently for about half of my overall crypto portfolio. I haven't bought XRP in over 4 years because I went crazy with it. I decided if I didn't stop purchasing, I have a serious problem. So I did stop purchasing, and then I spent the next several years only buying other cryptocurrencies. And still, despite putting in a lot of additional money over the next several years into crypto, XRP is still, even today, and a lot of it's thanks to that huge burst up starting in November, but it is now about half of my overall crypto portfolio, which is exactly how I want it to be. I am very thrilled for that. Anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap up here, though. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.